My lords, as you know, in a previous report I detailed all of the various endings that we have witnessed to the empires going down the route of Cosmogenesis, i.e. those empires who acquire enough advanced knowledge to create the arc vessel known as the Horizon Needle and take it beyond the event horizon of a black hole. Today I'm fortunate enough to bring you more endings. These have all been extracted from events in another galaxy, one where blocky, cat-like creatures reign supreme. I'm talking, of course, about Gigastructures. And these blockats are key to the story, as the mad empires who we have witnessed reaching Cosmogenesis did not take the Horizon Needle into any old black hole. No, they posited that the blockat Vesta is technically a singularity, so why not go through that one? We have detailed reports from empires attempting to do this, and they read: aboard the Horizon Needle, our entire civilization braces itself for entry into the blockat Vesta. In what is perhaps our empire's greatest daredevil move, systems are checked, edits are readied, and the jump begins. The blockat mothership, merely a few hundred kilometers across, appears in full view, its spinning concentric rings as marvelous as they are terrifying. Wasting no time, the Needle undertakes a series of rapid edits to leap through the indestructible hyperdimensional bulwark surrounding it. The shield reforms itself in mere microseconds, but that is all we needed to punch through. And so we go into the mysterious singularity at the heart of the blockat's instrument of destruction, unleashing edit after edit to avoid utter incineration by the near infinite distortion of space-time surrounding it. Today, we boldly go. Against all odds, we appear to have entered the blockwork. Endless, streaming flows of energy surround the Needle, pouring from the blockat Vesta towards some unknown central location in intergalactic space. And it is not the only one. Hundreds, no thousands, tens of thousands even, of such energy flows are intertwined here, all coming from countless blockat Vestas supposedly dismantling numerous galaxies. Curiously, in addition to the flows coming from the Vestas, there seems to be a myriad of other flows going out into empty areas of intergalactic space, as if they fuel some massive blockat operation in the middle of nowhere. But our observations have been cut short by the clear realization that we are not welcome here. The blockwork being designed to channel energy is not kind to our clump of solid matter. It is prying away at the Needle in an attempt to grind it down to nothingness. Our civilization is being kept alive by trillions of edits being undertaken every second. It is too late to go back, but we must act with haste as the Needle cannot sustain this forever. A choice must be made to get out of this hell. Should we head to what seems to be the center of the blockwork, or we could attempt to breach out elsewhere. All empires entering the blockat Vesta will experience these events, but from here it appears that the outcomes are affected dramatically by the choice said empires make. There are 6 potential branches, and I shall detail them all. If you choose to head to the source of it all, you find yourself in the Blockconstruct. Barreling through the ethereal energy flows of the blockwork, our Needle fights tirelessly against oblivion as it goes up the network, getting closer and closer to the source of it all, presumably where the blockat's harvested energy ends up. Spending the last of its power, it at last emerges out of the network. We find ourselves on the surface of what appears to be an utterly gargantuan structure, over a light year in length, made out of the amalgamated energies of hundreds of billions of galaxies put together. This is it. The blockat's ultimate feat of engineering and their main project, an unimaginably large construct intended to grow forevermore until the entire universe is amalgamated into it. The blockats call this place the Blockconstruct, a structure of near infinite complexity which houses their entire civilization, sapient life's ultimate display of power against the uncaring forces of entropy. But we have no more time to ponder. We do not belong here. Within seconds of our arrival, the Needle's edits falter, overwhelmed by the structure's own reality-warming powers. As countless beings turn their gaze towards us, their minds overwhelm ours. In a desperate bid for survival, the Needle undertakes one final edit, a brazen attempt to dive into the heart of the Blockconstruct itself, in the hope that its own gravitational pull may emulate that of a black hole and enable us to exit this reality. The needle comes to a stop in a calm place. The block construct and its inhabitants are nowhere to be seen, and suddenly a feeling of otherworldly serenity washes over our minds. We have done it. Against all the odds, we have escaped the block construct and left for a better reality. This universe is pleasant, warm, and quiet. Wherever we look, we see empty space, ready to be shaped for our own purpose, overflowing with some sort of pure ethereal bliss which fills our consciousness at every instant. This universe is, in every sense, utterly perfect, precisely what we had been looking for in our Cosmogenesis endeavours. Our bid has paid off, we have gone through hell, and we now find ourselves in heaven, where we shall now reside forevermore, free from the struggle and pain of the material world. Or so they thought. In reality, however, this poor, misguided civilization has found themselves in what amounts to nothing more than a Blockat zoo. These people were imprisoned, and yet they didn't know it. This is the first and only outcome for empires who dare to seek the source, and face up to the true might of the Blockat race. However, if one chooses to attempt to leave rather than head to the source of it all, they will find themselves in the midst of a grand intergalactic battle. With haste, we attempt to move away from the central location, and instead spend the last of the needle's capabilities dashing through the blockwork towards the energy streams being discharged into intergalactic space. Mere moments before the needle would be all but obliterated, we emerge out of the metaphoric frying pan, and into a fire. We are spat out into a space battle of gargantuan proportion in the intergalactic void. An immense Blockat fleet capable of blowing up our entire galaxy 1,000 times over, comprised of tens of thousands of ships far larger than anything we've encountered, is tussling with another fleet comprised of unknown, sleek vessels, powered by a sort of singularity at their centre. And somehow, we appear to have made an impact. The Blockat fleet stalls for a few precious nanoseconds as it processes our vessel coming out of their own energy network. This buys their opponents valuable time to fire a space-time shattering volley, overloading the Blockat vessels and causing some of them to detonate with unseen fury, while others retreat into the depths of space. As the Blockats vanish from detection, the sleek vessels turn to us and appear to process something, until we receive a transmission originating from one of them. They are hailing us. The vessels appear to be transferring information directly into our consciousness. Their technology is evidently far beyond our own, and a low whine is heard across the needle as they appear to be scanning us. Then we hear a voice. Did you just travel through the blockwork? Stunning. Marvellous. Absolutely incredible. We have seen numerous monogalactic primitives such as yourself attempting such feats with various devices, but to see an actual somewhat intact non-Blockat vessel emerge is absolutely unheard of. Coming up with a vessel such as yours, with such a primitive design, is some serious ingenuity. We asked the creature what it was and who it represented, to which it stated that it was a member of the Grand Intergalactic Federation, or G.I.F for short. Now my lords, the information this creature told us was vastly detailed, and it is worthy of a report unto itself. The key information for us, however, is that we were given 3 options. We had the option to join them, we could ask to be escorted to the nearest black hole, or we had the option to attempt to destroy them. Each of these 3 options would result in a different outcome. Should one choose to join the G.I.F, the following would occur. Disregarding our admittedly selfish plans of leaving this reality, we have decided to focus on a much nobler goal of helping the Grand Intergalactic Federation in the universal struggle against the Blockats. Shortly after we came to this decision, we were contacted by a Lunnite known as Deem Malise, who is responsible for the Alliance's diplomacy. They introduced us to the workings of the G.I.F before we officially signed our entry into the Union. Our Horizon Needle was escorted by a massive fleet of Singularity craft back to a nearby stronghold galaxy, and it was there that we were provided with blueprints and the necessary infrastructure that was far beyond our wildest dreams. This allowed us to transform the Needle into a mighty vessel of war, easily capable of laying waste to the blockout fleets which had previously besieged our galaxy. It has taken years for us to get used to this technological leap, which incidentally lets us grasp how many elements of Cosmogenesis we didn't fully understand. But thanks to the G.I.F instructors, our finest engineers and scientists have been able to finish this grand upgrade. And so we're off. We are joining up with our new and very own Singularity craft with another fleet. We begin our mission to first stall and then halt the blockout menace, and perhaps, just perhaps, save all of creation. A noble choice indeed for said empire to make. Next, if you choose instead to be escorted to another black hole in order to continue your Cosmogenesis escapades, the following will occur. The G.I.F will message you stating, "Oh, right, you'd like to undertake that Cosmogenesis project of yours. I'm afraid we can't really let you do that in good conscience. We've seen what usually happens with this. 99% of the time, whoever tries it just dies in one horrible way or another. We'll just scan your ship and bring you to a safe spot." Following the request, the G.I.F deploys a small cloud of nanite-like matter, which studies our vessel for a bit, likely to analyze and understand the trip through the blockwork. And then more of the same matter begins to repair the needle. Eventually it's rendered fully operational, only for us to then be completely enveloped, causing all aboard to lose consciousness. We awoke after an undetermined amount of time, and we found ourselves still inside the needle. Only the needle is inside a large megastructure, somewhere deep within intergalactic space. Ahead of us, inside the structure, lies a large rift in spacetime, akin to the astral rifts of our former galaxy. This rift was surrounded by a variety of devices which appear to forcefully keep it open. A voice suddenly echoes through our minds. Greetings, monogalactic primitives. What I'm about to tell you is strictly classified, but you'll be on your way soon, so it doesn't matter too much. My name is Edgar Nixon, head of the Fedrogalactic Securement of Anomalous Entities, or FSAE for short. Our job's to catalogue all of the strange happenings in this universe, and beyond. We secretly picked you up after Stera informed the higher-ups of your blockwork diving feat, which caught our attention. Especially since you apparently want to do it again. I can tell that you're not too familiar with the nature of the Profundum, and for that you cannot be blamed, because nobody is. Again, my lords, similar to the G.I.F, I won't go into the FSAE in great detail in this report, but know that they sent you on your way via the astral rift into what is essentially the Shroud, with an instruction not to get eldritched. Which leads to the following event. We quickly activate the needle and dive into the astral singularity, sniping and twisting reality, edit after edit to ensure that we survive the crossing. The results are satisfactory. The astral singularity, presumably having been fine-tuned by the FSAE, yields before us, allowing our needle momentarily to cross through the tides of the Profundum. We now find ourselves smoothly travelling across space, between realities, along some ethereal trail. Insatiable curiosity returns once more. We were warned not to slow down, but we could not resist. Soon, a large part of our civilization is asking for the needle to slow down so that we can study the nature of this Profundum in more detail, and most importantly, see it with our own eyes. What wonders, what unknowable marvels lie within this multiversal fabric. It beckons us, and it may well be our only chance to get a clear look at the fundamental essence of reality. We have two choices ahead of us. We can stay on the course, or we can peek and learn what lies beyond. If you choose to stay on the course, the following will occur. Disregarding our destructive curiosity, we sped along the path drawn by the astral singularity, and we soon found ourselves within a new realm. This realm is common, young, its very fabric like clay, ready to be shaped into whatever we desire. Our curiosity about the Profundum remains unsated, but it matters little. Here we have all the time in the universe to rebuild and expand a civilization. Perhaps in time we will be able to undertake our own forays into the Profundum, but for now, through our strife and triumphs, we have found home. Should, however, you peek, the following will occur. Disregarding the advice given to us, we slowed down a bit, as some of us dared to glean the depths of multiversal space. Endless tides of hyperdimensional energy surrounded us, flowing and ebbing throughout the Profundum's 9 spatial dimensions. It's like gazing into an infinite set of infinities. For what felt like an eternity, we remain in awe at the sight, some utterly unable to cease looking at it. As we stared into the depths of reality, an increasingly high share of our crew begins to claim that the solution to everything lies just outside of this ethereal webway. It could be a solution so elegant and potent that the FSAE attempted to conceal it from us. We think it could be something of such great power that it could supposedly end the cycle of suffering and pain endured by those across the multiverse. Promises of literal godhood, our very own ascension, beyond even our wildest Cosmogenesis dreams, fills our consciousness. As indeed, if individual universes are capable of showing resistance to our edits, why bother with them? Let us skip straight to the source and mold the very underlying fabric of the multiverse instead. The answer is clear. We must leave the path, enter the Profundum for good. It is our destiny to embrace infinity. We must act now, before the opportunity slips. Here, you are given 2 choices. Investigate these voices, or turn back and stay the course. Should you choose to investigate the voices, the following will happen. The needle takes a sharp turn, exiting the FSAE ethereal webway and then diving headfirst into the depths of the Profundum. It is beautiful. An eternal infinity lies ahead of us. With the power of our needle, we shall work to reshape interdimensional space itself. We shan't just be mere gods, but rather true, omnipotent gods, unbound by the laws and constraints of any one universe. But first, we must find a suitable spot, one where the energy density is just right for our plans. Navigating this 9-dimensional space is tricky, but it's nothing we can't handle. Eventually we locate a suitable location and begin our work. To hell with the FSAE and the Blockats, and all these pathetic narrow-minded civilizations. They thought it was not yet our time, but now it shall be. All we have to do is bring forth the end. The endless tides of agony that the multiverse experience will soon be over. Countless worlds, countless realities, countless futile cycles shall be ended. Within all of our minds at once a clear message resonates. This is, and always has been, our purpose. Our forms and beings are being altered by the Profundum's energies. As we toil into our very minds, bending and twisting into something unknowable. Soon there is no more time. There is no more suffering, no more thought, and no more reality. There is only the end of the cycle. If, however, you do not listen to the voices and you stay the course, this happens. We must not remain here. In a display of force against our own curiosity, we accelerate once more along the path drawn by the astral singularity, and we soon find ourselves within a new realm. The FSAE has done its job well. This realm is young, its very fabric like clay ready to be shaped into whatever we desire. And yet, it feels wrong. We have witnessed the Profundum in its hyperdimensional beauty, and now this realm's 3-dimensional space is unsatisfying, restrictive, cramped. It is, however, evident from our fit of interdimensional delirium that we cannot reside between realities, lest we are devoured by forces beyond our understanding. Tensions mount as our civilization becomes increasingly uncertain in its own future and goals, but ultimately an agreement is found. We have all the time in the universe here, and so we shall get to work. We will refine and improve the needle's design until it is capable of withstanding the Profundum's chaotic energies. And finally, back to the G.I.F. Should you be frankly stupid and attempt to fight them, the following will happen. We forcefully cut off communication with the Xeno fleet, and using what little energy remains in the needle, we charged towards the vessels. With great haste, we undertook a series of frenzied edits aiming to destroy the wretched ship which we are now about to impact. The needle may not have been designed for warfare, but disrupting reality can be a potent weapon. Or so we thought. In a fraction of a second, one of the Singularity craft freezes the needle in place. our own edits powerless against theirs as our ship is placed within a stasis chamber. What follows is the forceful return of our needle to one of the G.I.F galaxies, where it's rapidly taken apart and studied. Once all is said and done, our people are re-educated out of our violent ways before being released into a larger G.I.F member state. Effectively, that is where our story ends. Within decades, our former culture and ways of life have been judged too primitive, or essentially stamped out, as we get incorporated into this collective. The memories of our great Cosmogenesis endeavours are soon relegated to history. And that covers all 6 of the new Cosmogenesis endings added with the Gigastructural Engineering mod. If you want to play the mod, the link is in the video description, and I must thank Ilawini, the creator of the mod, for his work on this and support and assistance with the video. If you want to hear more from me, please click the video on screen now.